travel alert before you take off for your summer vacation. Two American couples found dead while traveling in the Dominican Republic.
Now, a mother from Delaware says she was assaulted while traveling there, too. The case is still under investigation, but the U.S. is warning travelers to be careful.
Here's what we know. Jennifer Bellamy walks us through the system designated to keep you safe while you're traveling abroad.
Yeah, the State Department isn't just for issuing passports and visas. It's also looking to keep Americans safe when they leave the country with an advisory system that is to warn you of potential dangers abroad.
When we travel, we're often looking for places to go, where to stay, and things to see. But what about safety? The U.S. State Department tracks that information for you and issues warnings. Last year, more than 93 million Americans traveled internationally, with most going to Mexico, Canada, the Caribbean, and parts of Europe. Some of the very places the State Department has issued travel advisories. There are 4 levels to those advisories. 1, the lowest level, means exercise normal precautions. 2, exercise increased caution. Conditions can change at any time, and the government offers advice for travelers. 3, reconsider travel. The State Department suggests avoiding these locations based on serious risks to safety. And 4, the highest level, do not travel. The State Department warns the government may be limited in its ability to help travelers if something happens. Right now, that highest level includes countries like Iraq due to terrorism and armed conflict, Venezuela for civil unrest and kidnapping, and North Korea for the serious risk of arrest and long-term detention. On the lower side of the scale, many popular destinations like the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, and Mexico are listed as level 2 as recently as this April based on the risk for violent crime. But some other countries you may not suspect have warnings as well. Spain, the United Kingdom, Italy, and France also have level 2 status because of the threat of terrorism.
And no matter where you plan on traveling this summer, it's always a good idea to check before you go. We can, of course, link you to that State Department site with all of their travel advisories and the full reasons behind them. Just look for this story on 11alive.com.